Hello, everybody. It is Friday. Yes, it's Friday. Friday. Woo! Who is with me on this Friday night? Yes, it's Friday night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's Friday night. Oh, what a night. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Good to see you on this Friday, Jennifer. I can't remember whether I talked to you today or not. Maybe I talked to Brad. I don't know. I feel like lost on who I've talked to. Hey, Michelle. Chris, how are you? Yes, TGIF, Michelle. Hello from Pasadena, Jenny. Hey, Rick. Thanks for joining us tonight. Augusta, Georgia's in the house. Augusta. Bailey. Cheers, Bailey. Hang on, I will move the drink into view. See how well my memory works, Jen? I can't remember, I think I was texting with Brad even. I lose track of all this. He didn't want to disturb your baking. I saw you ordered peanut butter cups. I was so excited. We were out of the B1s, we made a minor substitution in your order, Jennifer, but you'll be happy. Brad will be happy. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Laurel. Julie wants me to dress up. She's got this cheerleader skit that we're going to do at conference, supposedly. Coordinated by Jerry, I think, Laurel, that Julie Jankowitz and I are going to recreate the Saturday Night Live cheerleading skit. I've seen the video of it. I'm not sure we're going to totally do it. Delight, you are on my call list for tomorrow. Cassandra's got you in my pile for tomorrow. It is, you are definitely, I'm so glad to have Bermuda in the house. That is where I want to go. I need to jet off to Bermuda, get this all behind us so I can go on vacation. Yvonne, you are so right. A good change is coming, and that is a great topic of things we're going to cover tonight because it is so true. Oh, Laurel, you're making me laugh. I love it. Oh. I can't wait. Hey, Eric Abrams, thanks for joining us. Cheers from Atlanta, Leanne. Julie, Phipps. Happy Friday. Julie, you are on my call list for tomorrow, I think. I'm pretty sure you're in my pile. I made a lot of progress on the call list today. We're getting through a lot of stuff with people. So I'm happy to take any calls that I get and make any calls. Excuse me. Forgot to take my allergy pill earlier. Marianne, that's right. I talked to you too. I really do lose track of all the people that I talk to during the day. I take notes and I do it all, but I go from one to the next to the next. Hi, Jaya. Alexa, I saw chimed in there. How do I order peanut butter cups? ECIstores.com, Alexa. ECIstores.com. Put in peanut butter cup in the search. And there's a whole page of them. My counts are slightly off in inventory because we've been snacking, so I fully admit that we have been snacking and I haven't been adequately keeping track of and updating the inventory. I'm like, when I have staff back, that's something that I've written down on their list that they need to re-inventory the food that we have in the stores because the counts are like way off probably. No. Hey, Rose, Lorna. Yes, Julie, you are on my call list, I promise. I call everybody, I really do. I print out all the emails, and I keep them in a pile, and I just go from one to the next to the next. That's what I do all day long. And I'm happy to do it. It's truly my pleasure. Hey, Joanne, how are you? Did you see the picture I sent you back, Joanne? I sent you a picture that I thought you would appreciate. Hey, Lori from New York. Oh, Laurel, I am so glad they like their mystery boxes and the personalized boxes. I know Cassandra worked on that with you, and I'm so glad that they liked it, and even more glad I was the shipping clerk for that, so I'm more glad that I didn't screw that up. But I am so glad to hear that the kiddos and the family loved your mystery box. Vina bought a mystery box of cookbooks today for her mother that we shipped off to her mother. I was excited to put that in the mail. Well, actually, I had nothing to do with that except for see that there was an order. Because I have been here all day. Today I was in the office all day and working on things. Hey, Tracy, how are you tonight? Welcome to the show. What are we all grateful for this Friday? I almost called it Tuesday. What are we all grateful for this Friday? Tell me what we're grateful for. What are you grateful for? My Orkin man came today. I was kind of grateful that he showed up. I live in an old house, in case you didn't figure that out. Our house, the original part of our house was built in 1901, and we have an Orkin man, and it's got an old stone rock foundation, and so we have a Orkin man on speed dial. Leo, he's awesome. He came today, but they're seeing the effects of things too. I mean, his branch. In March alone, his little branch in Connecticut, was down 26,000, and they had to furlough people because people have canceled their services or rescheduled or not wanted people in their homes or only wanted people to do the outside of their homes. So this is affecting everybody in every business. Really doesn't matter what your business is. Hey, truly 500 in sales today. First time shipping artwork. That's really good, Michelle. You got to get creative with artwork. I do it occasionally, but I cringe when I ship it. I had one a couple weeks ago that we shipped to Florida, and it was gaudy 80s grandma Florida, so we shouldn't have taken it in the first place, but I was glad that somebody in Florida wanted to buy it. Stephanie, some money came in from unemployment. Yay, almost 3 weeks. That puts some food on the table. Lorna, successful Facebook Live. Kelly, New Mexico in the house, and we are much warmer than you all. Yeah, we had a really cold wind today, Kelly. It was cold today. I had to pop out the one time I got outside today. I didn't even walk the dogs today. The one time I got outside today, the wind was blowing, and it was cold out. eBay and Poshmark sales today that we're grateful for. That's right, it is Dennis Sewell's birthday today, so everybody wish Dennis a happy birthday if you haven't already. And Jana's been putting him to work because that is the way things roll in Texas, and I am glad he's handy. If you run out of handy projects, Jana, feel free to send them up here. We have plenty, and I am not handy. And Leanne survived another Facebook Live. Hey, Kitty. Speaking of birthday people, I believe Kitty's birthday's tomorrow. We'll get to celebrate that and sing to her tomorrow night. But tonight's Dennis's birthday. And hey, I think it's Laurel's birthday, too. I think both of them showed up that it's their birthdays. And Rose is getting $1,000 in the SBA in emergency assistance. That's awesome. Kelly did her first live sale. I think you're on my call list too, Kelly. Oh, Yvonne, I'm so sorry that your brother had a major stroke. I'm so glad to see that he's getting the care he needs and at the rehab hospital. That is a blessing, and my heart goes out to you, and I hope for a speedy recovery from that. I'm glad he's in a safe place. Yes, Jennifer Dawes. Yes, absolutely. Your own health, first responders, and grocery workers. Diane, best Facebook Live. Gonna change your life, isn't it, Diane? I mean, I'm excited for you in your store. The best is yet to come for you in your store. And law enforcement, yes. Yes, it was a Good Friday, and it's going to get better. Yes, it is Laurel's birthday too, right, Marianne? So it's Dennis and Laurel's birthday today, and Kristen Wheeler's birthday. Or she's at least celebrating today. Her birthday might not be till December, but she's celebrating today, so it's okay. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, we talked today, too. Oh, my my gosh, I really, I work on what's in front of me, and then I'm on to the next thing, and I forget all the people that I do, and I'm so happy to be able to do it. Shannon, Julie Jankowitz has joined the house, and Angie Houlis has joined us. If you're in Nebraska, she's got a desk for free. Come get it. You probably have to take it out of the basement. That's in the basement, isn't it, Angie? Well, I'm all so grateful to hear what you're grateful for. Let's not forget, we have survived 100% of our worst days. 100% of our worst days. We will survive this, too. We are one day closer to the end of all this. Okay, well, Kristen, I appreciate that today is your birthday, too. The way you worded it, though, left it really open that you were just throwing a party because. So let's take a look first up at our Good Morning, Good Night book. Let's see what page I turn to here. Remember, we are reading this book because nobody has bought it off my website yet, and that's okay, but it is available. I don't like that one. I need something more cheery. Hang on a second. I'm going to find something. Good morning. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. You're going to get back up. You're going to break hearts. You're going to change minds. You're going to make noise. You're going to make music. You're going to be late. Let's go. That's our good morning today. We'll have to see what our good night is in a little bit as we work through things. Nikki, 900 in online sales today. Ka-ching! Ka-ching! Nice! Hey, folks. You didn't come this far to only come this far. That is our other words of inspiration today. And that's true, Kristen. Every day is a good day to celebrate life. Don't forget that. That's why I am always smiling. It takes too much energy to have that turned upside down. I always want to look on the positive side of things. And that's also why, so, as we get down my rundown here today, Nancy, you are late, but you can rewind later for the first 15, however long I've been on. I lose track of time. As we get going here, time keeps on slipping into the future. Okay. Laurel told me not to sing and keep my day job. You know, one of the things as we think about beyond where we are right now, okay, is, yes, I can drink. That's better. I'll go back to drinking. We may have to refill the scotch bottle this weekend, you know. I'll have to see if we get out tomorrow, see what happens in our weekend. Well, you know, as we think beyond now, okay, and you think of how you're doing things different. Some of you are doing, you know, you've talked about it. You're doing Facebook Lives for the first time ever and making results and doing things. And as part of that becomes part of your infinite mindset, that your store isn't just stuck in this place in time, okay? It is how you reinvent yourself through this. Don't be worried about what you do, but why you do it. And together we are better. So that is an excerpt from something from Simon Sinek, but the concept is totally why we're doing. Many of you are reinventing yourselves in the way you do things. I mean, we're looking at our stores, you know, while we're replacing 25 people, we are working on how we're going to reinvent our processes to be better on the other side of this. So, and the passion of what you do. So many you I've talked to are like, you know, even Joanne, I just talked to you a little while ago. You were talking about how you love being in the store and how you love being the people. I love being people. I mean, you were laughing at me about my trips to the bank because I run into people and I'm talking to people. Yes, I'm all about people, okay? And relationships, and that's what's going to see me through to the other side. But the way we accomplish things or the way we do things is going to help us to the other side. It's going to help us be better, be stronger, be more engaging, and have a better business on the other side of this. And we are totally going to do that. We are totally going to be amazing. So, and I'm super excited about that. So, in that vein, I was reminded, you know me, how I come and turn a song into something that means something for us. So, Fleetwood Mac, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here, and it's going to be better than before. Because yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Woo! Okay. I promised Laurel I would stop singing, so I better actually promise, because otherwise Laurel will reach out and get me. So good things are starting to happen, okay? And I know a lot of you are still in panic mode and a lot of you are stressed, but I gotta tell you, good things are starting to happen. Money is starting to show up. So people, I was hearing all day long how the advance on the economic injury disaster loans was starting to show up in people's accounts. Okay, so a lot of people with March applications, that money showed up today. I mean, I had people with $10,000, $1,000, $5,000 showing up in their bank accounts today. Huge signs of relief with that. Okay, so that money, I know a lot of you aren't looking at your bank accounts, even though I've warned you to look at your bank accounts, okay, because fraud is happening. There's a lot of fraud out there, so check your bank accounts, check your credit cards. But money is starting to arrive. I've talked to people that have gotten the advance, okay? And keep in mind, if you're getting that and the PPP, the advance that you get on the economic disaster injury loan actually reduces the amount you get for the PPP. If you don't take the PPP, either because you don't have payroll or don't have a lot of payroll, okay, it is a straight grant. Yes, for employees are starting to get their unemployment checks, which is huge. I'm down to one employee who's having a problem, and she came in a couple times today to print and send them different unemployment office, different things, and I'm doing everything I can to help her get, and we're helping any of our employees that need something to hold them over until that comes through. We're giving them a loan, whatever they need. I mean, I do not want to stop food on their table or add to their stress. This is my job to carry the stress of the company. I want them to take care of their family and not have to worry about anything. So we're doing our part with that, and I know many of you are. Well, Jennifer, most of your people never worked before, so you have to work to collect unemployment. Oh, that was a mean joke. Sorry, Jennifer. But you know what I'm saying. But yes, the Florida system has been screwed up, Jennifer. They actually just did a major update to their website. So I'm hoping if people had a problem, they can get into it now and start seeing it. I know they did an update because that was one of the things that showed up in my national notices is Florida actually did a major update to their unemployment website. But that's correct, Lorna. LLCs still have to wait. I'm hoping next week. The states have really been working on it. I know some states have said April 30th, but I'm hoping to really have some states coming online with it next week, and then I expect them to share their knowledge with other states, which will make it happen. Because a lot of the state unemployment systems, the actual software, computing stuff, a lot of it's the same. So I'm hopeful that they will get it together, especially because they can bill the federal government for the overtime. They can bill the federal government for everything with it. So, and they want people taken care of. They don't want people on other things. But it is exciting. So people are getting that. People are getting their economic injury disaster loan in full. Okay, they're getting full loans. Oh, that's great. So North Carolina's put a date of April 24th. I'm hopeful and optimistic that it'll be before then, but at least that's not the 30th. That's a whole week earlier. But people are getting economic injury disaster loan money, the full payment. Okay, I've talked to people today that have gotten their full money. I have talked to people that have gotten their PPPs. Not yet, Jenny. They'll be there. My guess is somewhere between the 15th and the 30th for unemployment in California for LLCs and self-employed. But you want to. But things are happening, and people are also getting their PPP money, their payroll protection money, in their accounts, not just approved in their accounts. And other people today have gotten grant money from different agencies or their state. So the system is starting to work, okay? It has taken a long time. I know it feels like years, okay? It's been weeks or days, depending on which optimistic side of the coin you want to look at. It has not been years. It has not been, months since most of the country's been shut down. But we are so headed in the right direction here of getting everything working. And I know a lot of you that haven't seen money yet this week will see money next week. Okay, this pump is getting primed and going. The SBA is really, really working it. And a friend of yours in Minnesota got the extra $600. I know Massachusetts has started giving it and giving it retroactive to last week. So I know some of my people have gotten it, which is great. I mean, hey, Ellen, how are you? It was great. I think I only texted with you today. And Wells Fargo has it so you can click on. They haven't had the formal. I think the restrictions are either going to be tonight or tomorrow lifted so they can actually issue loans, but they are taking the applications again. I have heard that they're taking applications. They aren't funding them yet. So they are doing that with Wells Fargo. But the PPP money is flowing into people's accounts, but you still need to be careful, okay? You want to make sure that if you're taking the PPP money now, that you're bringing your payroll back up to those levels. Do not make that money alone, okay? Whatever you do, do not make that money alone. That money, that is awesome, Sarah. Thank you for confirming that. Yeah, as far as I know, with Wells Fargo, the application link is live on their page, and you can submit an application now. But I have heard that they're not actually funding it yet, but that funding limit's going to be lifted, and that's to most of yours advantage anyways. Okay, if there's a delay in funding, but they're taking the applications, God bless, because it works to your advantage. Because again, you have to hit the numbers, and that has been one of the biggest things I've been working on today, is helping people understand the numbers with their PPP. Because I do not want you to have a loan. And some of you said, well, it's a 1% loan. Yes, but it's a 1% loan with a short payback. And if you're not open and you're not generating revenue and you're only generating a fraction of what you normally do, that is not cool, okay? You do not want a loan. So, what are those figures again? Okay, in the 8 weeks following disbursement means money in your account for the payroll protection plan. Okay, when money is in your account, the 8 weeks start, you have to restore 75% of your payroll in dollars, okay, and 75% of your full-time equivalents, okay, and some of you that have done it on the application and didn't do full-time equivalents before you take a disbursement that just listed all your employees, like you have 12 people, okay, but on a full-time equivalent basis, you may only have 3 or 4, okay, because you have a lot of people, but they only work a few hours. So full-time equivalents, again, is your payroll hours for the year divided by 52, divided by 40. So total payroll hours for the year, okay, divided by 52 weeks in the year, gives you your weekly number of hours. Excuse me. Divided by 40 hours, which is a full-time work week for the sake of this, gives you your full-time equivalents. And then you round down, okay? Everything with the PPP is a round down number. Okay, you got to make sure you can hit 75% of that. So if you have 4 full-time equivalents, let's say, you need to be employing 3 of them. That's not so bad. If you have 15 full-time equivalents, you need to be employing 12 of them when you take the PPP money. And you have to pay them, yes, Dana, you have to pay 75% of it in dollars and in headcount. So you can't just give yourself a raise, okay, to make the numbers work. Well, Alexa, in your case, I think you have really like 4 when you add in the part-timers, so you're not so far off. Okay, you're going to be okay with that. But you have to do 75% in the 8 weeks following, okay, in dollars, and you have to be hitting 75% in headcount. This is all about getting people back to work. And if you're not getting people back to work, this converts to a loan. Okay, and that doesn't help you. And I know some of you are like, but I have to pay rent, or I have to pay the utility bill. Yes, you do have to pay those things, but those are easier to defer, okay, than taking money that is going to become a loan. Okay, so I'm expecting most of you that applied by the end of March, first week of April, are going to have the economic injury disaster loan money coming in the next couple of weeks, or certainly this month. So there's money coming. You know, it's all in how you communicate and handle your relationships. So communicate with people, work with your people, and they will work with you. You know, I know some of you I talked to are sending little bits to the landlord as a percentage of what sales you are doing. And that's great, okay? That is perfect, and most of the landlords are good with that. I mean, they all have expenses and bills too, so they get it. One of the things we had talked about previously, and remember with the advance, with the up to $10,000 economic injury disaster loan advance, the EIDL advance, that is $1,000 per employee up to $10,000. You're not automatically getting $10,000. Another thing that's happening. So I talked a couple weeks ago, or what feels like a couple weeks ago. I'm pretty sure you're on my call list, Sarah. I'm fairly certain you are. And hang on a second, I actually have some of my call list right here behind me. I will double check, Sarah, before we get offline, whether I have a Sarah in here. Yes, Sarah, you are in my call list, right there. Right there, you're in my call list. I will be up and making calls tomorrow. I have several people that have asked me to call when their husbands are home, so that I do that all the time anyways. I mean, really, this is big stuff, okay? With all that we're dealing with and all the decisions that need to be made and the stresses of all this is family stuff. This is big deal stuff. So that's totally cool. I talk to husbands all the time. I put husbands in their place all the time. Ask Ellen how many times I put Mike in his place. Ellen Didion, she'll tell you. It's all good. I love consignment store owner husbands. We get along great. So, Melissa, a little late on the treadmill tonight, Melissa, aren't you? So one of the things, obviously that's facing a lot of you is rent and rent concessions. And I have talked about that prior, that depending on how a rent concession, abatement, deferment is handled, or just plain discount is handled, that could actually be an income event for you. Okay, so if crazy day. Yes, it has, but it's been a good Friday, Melissa. A very good Friday. And I talked to you earlier too, I feel like, or at least texted with you. But so let's say you have a $10,000 a month rent. The number doesn't really matter except for an example. And I'm not trying to throw big numbers around, but a lot of you have big rents. Hey, Suzanne, happy Good Friday. Yes, it is. It's a very good Friday. I found it interesting that Dennis has his birthday on Good Friday, so that it is a good day. Okay, all my furniture people will get that. So let's say your landlord says, hey, your rent's $10,000 this month. for this month and this month and next month, just pay me $5,000 a month. Okay? And that sounds great, right? Half rent. That sounds wonderful. Well, in many cases, depending on the exact wording of your lease, when they do that, that can actually trigger an income event. So that $10,000 that you saved, 2 months, half rent, okay, $5,000 a month that you saved, $10,000 is actually now $10,000 in income. And so that has been a big concern with all this, and it's been a big concern by actually the big guys have brought it up. I mean, because it really creates a huge issue for them in all their various leases. And I've talked about that a little bit before. But that they're seeking guidance and relief so that they don't have to create new lease language or rewrite tens of thousands of leases across the country if there's any type of change like that, or realize it as an income event at a time that they're losing money. So the Financial Accounting Standards Boards, the FASB, because you need another acronym. You know, you haven't had enough acronyms with your PPPs and your EIDLs and, you know, your grants and all the other different acronyms that are out there right now, is the FASB, okay, is they're having a meeting on accounting relief for this. So their goal is to have this not to have a stay of it being an income event. So the draft language has it for the next for all of 2020. Any lease changes for 2020 would not be an income event. I'm following that closely, because I do not want you to, wake up at the end of the year and get a 1099 from your landlord saying, oh, this is how much money you earned this year because I didn't bill you for it. Just be aware of that in the back of your mind. Most of the small landlords do it on a handshake and never actually think of the accounting side of that. But sometimes, when they're doing their taxes, their accountants then say, oh, you've got to send 1099s to all your tenants that you gave a break to. But if this goes through with the Financial Accounting Standards Board, that won't happen. It won't be an income event, and that would be a wonderful thing. And I expect it to happen. The term of the length of that happening is probably up in the air of when, not only when the final standard will come out, but what scope of time it will cover. Whether it'll cover the whole year, whether it will only cover certain months of the year, that is up in the air. But the fact that is coming along is a good thing. And especially when major tenants that are still open, okay? One example is that has shocked some landlords, national landlords, is Staples, the office supply store. Yep, they got that. Pink calculator. Okay, has not paid any of their April rents. Okay, and they are open under some clause of essential business, supplying home offices or something. They're open in most jurisdictions. And their competitor, Office Depot, has paid rents or possibly a reduction. Jenny, in your example, if a landlord says, give me 5 instead of 10, does that mean you have to pay back the 5 down the road? It really depends on your individual negotiations. In some cases, it's a deferment, in which case you pay it later. In some cases, it's an abatement, which means it goes away. So it really depends on your individual negotiation with your landlord and what your landlord's willing to do. I have some big landlords. I have some small landlords. I mean, I have one guy his business is in real estate, and he owns my warehouse building is what he owns, where my distribution center is, and he's really a small player. So he's like, checking in to make sure I'm going to pay. Okay. And I have, but that's what and I want to take care of my small guys, as I have hoarded cash to make sure, because I've been a hoarder of cash because, again, I don't know where this is going to end, the exact time frame it's going to end. I've been taking care of all my little guys first. And that's nothing against the big guys. I have friends that are taking care of. I have friends that are paying a little bit to everybody. Okay, and nobody's getting paid in full, and I'm taking care of the little guy as much as I can. Jenny, if landlords are paying a wait-and-see game, then what? Well, part of it is I'm actually recommending people play a wait-and-see game. I'm recommending, I know one person I talked to today, we had a long discussion about their landlord, and they're sending a little bit to their landlord as they have money coming in from their online and other sales. The online sales part, well, hey, we all have the things that we hoard. But they've been sending a little bit in, okay? So, and as part of that discussion, they're saying, let's see where this ends, and then have a discussion about what we do with the balance, okay? What will abate, what will defer. Because, some people have been really excited that they got April rent free. Well, if you're not open in May, that's not helping you. Or they got April and May free, but if you're not able to open till June, that's helping you for April and May, but it doesn't help you in June. So, it's those discussions, so that's why I'm being honest and open with people and suggesting the open dialogue versus locking yourself in. Some landlords are offering things and offering to extend your term. Again, that could be a good deal, but it depends on when you're open and when business returns to normal. So just being honest about the reality of that, okay, is a good thing. Rick, your bank didn't ask for the number of employees. When they do the final application, they will. They'll do that. Just make sure, especially in your case, Rick, that you do the full-time equivalent, that you don't just say that you have 35 employees, Rick. Because that is going to change the math on yours a lot on the forgiveness, and I do not want you to end out with a loan on that. But the full-time equivalent is what the PPP is based on, and so you want to hit that. So start working that, and I know your payroll system can do that, so you should be able to get that number fairly easily out of your system. Yeah, Jenny, a lot of people, yes, some businesses are just closing, and they're closing out of fear. And this is why, people are asking, why am I on the phone all day? Why am I saying everybody call me, okay? I had a appliance store call me today. I had, that I had calls with. I talked to everyone because they're closing out of fear, completely gone out of fear, okay? They look at their bank account, they look at what's facing them, and they are just in fear, okay? You have to remove the panic. You have to step back from the panic, okay, which I'm really good at. It's not that this stuff isn't scary, okay, but you have to step back from the panic. I've helped a printing store. I've helped everybody, okay, and I've made that my full-time job right now to help everyone because unless you were going out of business before this, and I've talked to some of you about this, unless you were going out of business before this, and I've talked to some stores that actually were planning their closing sale starting in May, okay, we're going to defer that a little bit. Okay, so unless you were going out of business before this, there is no reason for you to go out of business because of this. Not a single store. So I would never be good in the military, okay? I'm just not, I'm not good private military material, okay? They'd whip my butt, okay? But there is no store left behind in this unless they want to be left behind. Okay, and I don't care who you know. I've had some of you contact me. Can you talk to this person that's the restaurant next to me? Can you talk to that person who owns the dry cleaner? Can you talk? And I am talking to absolutely everybody. I mean, resale is my priority, but every business in every community is so important. And so, share the resources on NART's .org/resale strong. We have organized them to help everybody. Yes, there's some resale specific things, but these things and these facts that we get as we know them at the time can help everybody. And that is what I am here to do. That is, I've made my mission, okay? I don't care what state, where they are. I want to help people get to the other side of this. And I'm not saying slugging through the mud. I sort of think of the army things where they're crawling through the mud or something as part of training. The path we get through to this, I'm not saying it's easy, but there is a path, there is the other side, and the other side is going to be unbelievably amazing. Unbelievably amazing. Kind of like pink calculator cake amazing. I mean, nothing to pink calculator cake amazing. Okay, it is going to be amazing, or Jennifer's Cookies in Florida amazing. You know, I can relate it all to food. I like to eat, okay? I've lost a lot of weight over the last year, but I like to eat. And I like my chocolate, and I like my sweets. But we're going to get everybody that wants to be on the other side to the other side. I am so committed to that. I have talked to so many. I have reached out to so many. It's really been unbelievable, all the people I've been able to talk to and reach out to, and I continue to do that. So don't hesitate to reach out. Don't be ashamed. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm the easiest guy to reach. Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com is the email address, which is the best place to reach me because I can stack it. I print them all out, I put them in my stack, and I call them in order. Okay? And I do that, and so you'll get a FaceTime from a 508 number, and I will help you get to the other side of this. Because there's a lot of specifics that I can't cover here in a live video that are different in your situation with your employees and your people to make your math work. And there's a lot of math to this. So I saw a question. Sarah, is the Idol also based on FTE? No, it is not. Vina, welcome to the party. Glad to have you here. Mentioned you earlier. Glad to send some cookbooks off to, well, let me rephrase that. Cassandra sent some cookbooks off to your mom today, so can't wait to see what she makes with that. Happy to try things. If she needs somebody to test food, Vina, I am there for your mother. Okay? Just saying, that I'm there. Vicky, absolutely we will be better and stronger after this. We are resale strong. Bailey, I'm just happy to be able to help, and I'm here for you. If you and Joni need anything, I haven't had a chance to actually check in with you personally, but if you need anything, do not hesitate to reach out. I know that husband of yours thinks he can do numbers and everything else, but sometimes he gets emotional because it's you. I don't get emotional because it's you. I just want to help you. I am here for you. So the other topic that I was asked to talk about tonight is several of you had consigners reach out to you and say, I want you here on the other side. I love your store. I support you. Okay? I need you here. I know I have money as store credit. I know I have money on my account that I haven't collected yet. I want you to keep it. Pay your employees insurance, pay the light bill, pay something. Just still be here for me when this is all over so I can come and be here because your store is my safe place. Your store is my happy place. They have said that to you. They have written you. They have told you that. What does that mean? Okay, from an accounting perspective. Okay, you have asked that. And that's an important question because it's an income event. Okay, we've talked about income with the lease. Okay, this is an income event with your consignor. So what does that do? If you zero out somebody's account, it isn't just going into your consignment software, although all of them make it really easy. Thank you, Traxia. Thank you, Liberty. Thank you, Computer Peeps and Consign Pro and all the software vendors to make it easy to zero out that and reduce your liability. But you're reducing your liability. So you're reducing your so when you reduce and eliminate somebody that you owe $100 and you take that to zero, okay, that reduces your consignor payable and it increases your income and it decreases your cost of goods sold. So you have that accounting side of things where you're reducing your consignors payable, decreasing your cost of goods sold, and ultimately increasing your income. It's a small, nobody's donating $10,000, so it's not going to be big, and it's not really a donation. They can't claim it on their taxes as a donation, but in your case, it's reducing your payables, decreasing your cost of goods sold, and that's how it's going to show from an accounting perspective. If you have any questions on that specifically, I'm happy to address them. I think I got a call coming up with anyways. If we hop back here to our Good Morning, Good Night book, see, I think really our timer is based on how much scotch is left in the glass. It's kind of like an hourglass. How much scotch is left in the glass is how long the show goes. And again, I go to the scotch because it's not only because of Aunt Sarah, and I think I need to do a whole video about Aunt Sarah. At some point when we're looking for a fun night, I will do a whole video about Aunt Sarah and how I started drinking scotch. But yeah, that is sort of how we get there. So for those of you who were late to the party, Vina, and didn't hear our good morning story, good morning. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fail. You're gonna get back up. You're gonna break hearts. You're gonna change minds. You're gonna make some noise. You're gonna make some music. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And you're gonna be late. So let's go. I'm good at the late part. King of 10 minutes late, although I think I've been getting more on time with this. Our good night from our Good Morning, Good Night book. Good night. You're gonna fall down. You're gonna be tested. You're gonna learn about yourself. You're gonna get brave. You're gonna take stands. You're gonna make waves. You're gonna make history. You're gonna need rest. So rest up. Sarah, that's great that your mom taught you to drink scotch. My Aunt Sarah story, and funny that your name's Sarah, is even funnier than that, and I will share that with you at some later point. Some of you already know the long version of that story. You've heard me tell it before. All the stories I tell are true. I am not creative enough to make them up. Okay, the ones I read actually out of the book are from the book, but all the stories I tell, or when I'm talking to you about business, or I'm talking to you, and that was my brother calling in because it is Sibling Day, National Sibling Day, but every weekend I have Sibling Day. I call all my siblings every weekend to check in with them, partly because I think they only have one of those phones that can receive calls and not make them. You know who I am, and I don't take that for granted. My name is Neil Abramson. I am here for you every night at 8 o'clock. You have a question that can't be answered in this, you reach out to me. It is Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. That is N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com. You'll find me here live every night at 8 o'clock, and I'll be returning your calls tomorrow. So wait for that call from a 508 number. If you get a call from, or a FaceTime, because I prefer to do FaceTime so we can look at each other and I can see when I make you cry or I can see when I make you smile. If you get a call from a 508, it is from me. If you get a call from an 817 number, 817 is the SBA. The other number that the SBA uses is 800-366. Again, 817 or 800-366 is the SBA. Take that call. 508 is Neil. Christine, you have a good night. I'll be back again tomorrow. Give out the Resale Strong page to all your friends, regardless of what business they are. We are here to get everyone to the other side. narts.org/resalestrong. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8. Have a great night, everybody. You and you and you, and most definitely you are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. It's dinner time.